When you think about the infrastructure itself, when I first started to hear of El Zonte and Bitcoin Beach, it seemed like it was a little bit more onerous. The user experiences, the infrastructure wasn't quite there. Now, my take from what I hear from a number of different people who have been is it's much more kind of Lightning Network enabled. There's micro payments, there's cheap, kind of fast transactions. What are people using for the most part? Is it the Cash Apps of the world? Is it Strike? Is it some other piece of infrastructure? And like, what does that user experience look like for them?
We've actually worked hand in hand with a small upstart Lightning company called Galloy Money, and we've developed a Bitcoin Beach wallet. And we've been able to kind of integrate a lot of things that are innovative. Like there's a map function in there, so you can actually click on this map and see all the places that are accepting Bitcoin throughout El Salvador, and then actually pay them from a Lightning payment directly through the map. They don't have to create an invoice or anything like that. We also use usernames, and similar to how Strike is doing with the usernames. And so I think between Strike and the Bitcoin Beach wallet, those are the ones that are primarily being used, mostly because they get rid of the friction. I mean, it's just makes it very fast to do a Lightning transaction, actually faster than cash. And so that was something we had to overcome initially. Some of the store owners would say, it takes longer. I have to create an invoice. I have to wait. Where this, it's actually faster. And so I think that's very important as far as getting uptake on a real retail level.
Absolutely. Obviously, everyone is talking about El Salvador now, and I think most people know the origin of Bitcoin Beach and the work that you and your team has done there in El Zonte. But the president of El Salvador obviously pushed through the legislation, and they now have started to acquire Bitcoin. What are people on the ground thinking about this? Is this a positive development? Is there concerns? Is there kind of a whole spectrum of reactions or emotions? Like, what are you hearing on the ground?
No, there's definitely a whole spectrum. One, people have to realize it's become very political because the president is pushing it. The opposition parties are suddenly very anti-Bitcoin. I think if he would have tried to outlaw Bitcoin, they would be protesting in favor of Bitcoin. So, you have to kind of throw out that just the normal politics that happen in any country. But on a real concern level, there are people here who just, they don't understand it. They don't understand what's happening. They're being told that they're going to be forced to use Bitcoin, that it could drop, the value could go down in half overnight. And, even today we've seen the value drop down, and that's very concerning for people when they feel like they're going to be forced to use it. But that's not the case. The way the law is written, nobody has to use Bitcoin. It's something that I think the way they're trying to do it is for over time, people to slowly increase their exposure as they kind of understand the volatility of it. And so, I think it's just kind of natural for people to have those concerns when something new is being pushed in.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. And I try to remind folks that politics penetrate all kinds of things like this here in the United States, El Salvador, and pretty much anywhere in the world. Talk to me about the Chivo wallet and the ATM plan that the president has, where they're kind of, I think they're putting 50, 100 ATMs around the country. What is the general perception that you have? Right, you've got a very unique seat in that obviously you're a large Bitcoin proponent. You've been very active in helping onboard a ton of users in that country. And also, I think having the president kind of do this, you seem to be supportive of that as well. So, how do you see the rollout plan in terms of maybe the pros and cons, in your opinion?
I mean, I think it'll be disastrous rollout, like any new technology rollout. I mean, even the U.S. government can't, roll out something with all the resources they have behind them. So, from large governments to large tech companies, anytime something new is rolled out, it's very rocky at first. So I'm assuming it'll be the same here. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I assume for most people, they won't be able to use the wallet this week. And then generally over time, they'll kind of catch up with the volume. They'll work out the bugs. And so I wouldn't be surprised if, 2 weeks from now, people are calling this a failure. But 3 months from now, everybody realizing, wow, this actually works, and it's revolutionizing the way commerce is happening in El Salvador. It's saving people money, and it's giving people access to the hardest money on earth that people are able to save, and something that's not depreciating over time. And so I really have a long view of this. It's not a short game. This is definitely a long game. And I think the president here knows that. And so I think he will stick to it, for the long term, even through the bumps. And so I would just tell people to hold their judgment till we get at least 6 months out.
What's up, guys? Bang, bang. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show today. If we're going to be the best business show, we obviously need the best partner. That's why the exclusive sponsor of the Best Business Show is SoFi. They're an all-in-one platform that allows you to invest in all kinds of different assets, including stocks, ETFs, crypto, IPOs, and they even have an automated investing function, if that's your thing. So before we start getting after it again, make sure that you go download SoFi, you get an invest account, and when you make your first crypto trade, regardless of what you buy, they'll give you $10 in Bitcoin for free. It's that simple. Head on over to SoFi.com/pomp to get started today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you come back and watch more of the Best Business Show tomorrow.